Hello, I am Deanne and this is Hazel.
And you're joining us for day one of our 3-day anti-challenge to kickstart your writing career.
Now, this challenge is for anybody of any skill level, of any experience level, anyone who thinks they would like to start writing. You might have an idea for a novel in your head, or you might just think, I'd like to have a little dabble with a few short stories, but you don't know how to start, and you sort of built it up in your head as something difficult, as something that you need to really think about and plan and treat like a job at first.
And that you need a big block of time to do it in.
Exactly. And
I don't have a big block of time. Do you have a big block of time? No.
Chance it'd be a fine thing. No, big blocks of time do not exist in most people's lives, including us. It's also for people who have been writing in the past, but they've stopped, they've got out of the habit of it, they have built it up into a sort of chore in their heads that they say things like, I ought to be writing, or they've made it into something really scary that they some great big monster they need to fight, and it isn't like that at all. It does not need to be that way.
Basically, we're helping you to click the reset button, to just press pause in your life, click reset, and start those things that you want to do, that you really want to make time for. And one of the biggest things you need to make time for is yourself. So we've called it an anti-challenge because it's easy. There's no challenge. There's no pre-requirements other than you want to do it.
Exactly. We can all be creative, every single one of us. It doesn't require a huge amount of planning to get started. It doesn't require any qualifications of any type. You don't have to have tidy handwriting. That's fine. You don't have to be good at spelling.
Tidy houses.
No, you can just shut the door on that and go into your own head and create your own creative world. So I think we're ready to get started with actual day one, although I suppose we should tell people exactly how we're going to structure the 3 days, shouldn't we?
Yes. So we've called it Take 5 because what we want you to do is to take 5 minutes 3 times a day for 3 days. That's it. And it will vary when those 5 minutes come for you. For me, I'm always first up in the house, so I will take 5 minutes after I fed the cat because she will not wait. I will take 5 minutes just before lunch, and I will take 5 minutes shortly before 4 o'clock when the children get back in from school and chaos just tumbles out of their school bags, because I know that chance for peace and quiet will dramatically reduce after that time. What would 5 minutes 3 times a day look like for you, Deanne?
Well, I don't get up anywhere near as early as you do in the morning. No, I'll never be a member of that early o'clock club. So for me, my first 5 minutes would be after I've done the school run in the morning. I come back, the house is quiet. I can have 5 minutes before I get my breakfast. I can just sit there and think. And that's my first 5. Second 5 will be when I break for lunch. It'll be a case that I fill my belly so that I'm not distracted by the rumbling. And then before I get back to a work activity, I will take 5 minutes then and consider things further. Then the third 5 minutes will be in the evening, because the kids are back in the house then and everybody wants their dinner and all of that sort of thing, it can sometimes be in the bathroom.
Why not?
Why not? It is a place where you can go and lock the door and just take 5 minutes. Sometimes it comes to that, and that's fine. So my 5 minutes might look like that. Yours might be very different. So let's say somebody works in an office or in a school or something like that. Your 5 minutes might be in the car park at the start of the day and the end of the day, when you've arrived at work and before you leave to go home, so that you don't have the distractions of the family or whoever else. And the middle 5 minutes might be at your desk, perhaps, before you leave to go for your lunch. You might take a quiet 5 minutes at that point.
Yes. Or if you've got small ones around. I know when I was very little, and I used to hear things like, sleep when the baby's sleeping, the housework will still be there tomorrow. Well, yes, the housework would still be there tomorrow. That was the entire problem. But if your baby is napping or your child is napping, take 5 minutes. Get yourself a cup of tea. Heaven knows you deserve it. Take 5 minutes and do that. Just slot it in where you can. So that's what we're encouraging you to do, is to take 5 minutes. 5 minutes to do what? Well, that's where it gets interesting.
Yes. So day 1 is to do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
We want you to get into the habit of seeing how easy it can be to have those 5 minutes. And it's not 5 minutes, not planning meals, not thinking about your next task at work, not thinking about, have you booked the dentist appointment, not thinking about the dishes that need doing or the laundry that needs coming out, not thinking about any of that. 5 minutes where you are just breathing. You're just, I don't know what you might be thinking about. Meditation has never worked for me. There is a saying that if you can't meditate for 20 minutes, you need to meditate for an hour. I've never quite been able to get there. If it works for you, brilliant. Spend 5 minutes meditating. For me, it will be 5 minutes where, first of all, I will just take a few breaths, let my shoulders relax, and just let whatever thoughts come into my head. And if they're thoughts about ironing or shopping or my next task at work or anything like that, I'll try and push them away, take a few more breaths, and just let more thoughts come and go out of my head. So I don't know how you would do that, Deanne.
I think many people would call that meditating.
Oh, maybe I am good at meditating. I never feel particularly zen or anything afterwards, so I don't feel particularly purposeful. It's just that thought of, no, I'm not going to think about that for a few moments.
It's mind wandering for me.
Yes.
I'm not a meditator either. I can't listen to guided meditations very easily. I find myself getting impatient with. I think I probably just need more practice. I'm not a very patient person, though. So I call it mind wandering. It feels indulgent sometimes, and like, what do you mean? I'm taking 5 minutes just to sit and think about nice things. What? And that's not a ridiculous thing to allow yourself to do, is it? We are allowed to be nice to ourselves. So mind wandering, thinking about the telly program that I saw that intrigues me, one particular character's reaction in a specific scene that made me think, oh, now that's an interesting thing, and I wish they developed it a bit further, but I like that, and how would I do it differently? And what are the thoughts going through that character's head? And before I know it, I'm starting to think in story.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you start thinking in story or not. That's not the point in day one. The point is that you are allowing yourself those 5 minutes to just allow your mind to wander onto things that aren't your should do's and your have to do's.
Yes.
It's as
And
simple as
if
that.
those thoughts do intrude and you can't just push them away, perhaps try and twist them. For example, if you're thinking, I've got a big pile of washing up to do, maybe instead think about what it would be like if you lived in a house where somebody else did the washing up, or
if you had a fairy that came in and did the washing up for you.
Realms of fantasy there. Yeah. Or think about the type of view that if you still got to do the washing up, what view you would like to have out of the window whilst you're washing up, and think about that, develop that further. Just let your mind wander. If you're looking out in your imagination across a countryside view whilst you're washing up, let your mind drift over to there, let it walk over through the garden, down the path, out the door. You'd have been out the door to get through the garden, but you know what I mean. But yes, just let your mind drift. I love that phrase, mind wandering. Do some mind wandering. That's what we want you to do today.
Exactly. So that is it for day one. I hope you find it easy. If you do find it easy, let us know. If you don't find it easy, let us know that as well. Let us know why it's easy, why it's not easy, whether you enjoy it, whether you are surprised that this is the sort of thing we're asking you to do, rather than pick up a pen and paper and plan something. Let us know. Give us a comment, send us a message, and we would love to chat with you. We'll see you again for
Tomorrow.
day 2. Tomorrow, funnily enough. See you soon. Bye.